What's up, all you chainsaw maniacs out there? Fat Samurai Guy here with Lady Fat Blood, and we just got back from the theater to see the greatest movie of all time, the greatest of the year. Okay? Blockbuster. It's gonna kill, it's gonna destroy everything that comes out this year.
I'm just gonna drink some booze. Give me a sec.
The Great Wall is a China and American collabo. That's why we got some Matt Damon up in here, and William Dafoe, and the guy from Game of Thrones. I forget his name. He played the Viper, I believe, on Game of Thrones. He was entertaining in the movie. He was actually funny. He had pretty decent chemistry with Matt Damon. Matt Damon was fine. He was kind of losing his accent a little bit here and there, but let's just get to the meat.
All right,
here.
let's set the scene. All right,
Yeah.
let's
Okay.
set the scene.
Okay.
We saw the trailer.
Okay.
And I immediately thought of dog shit.
Yeah. We were just like, oh, what is this?
It looked like a piece of crap. It looked like a generic, Universal, tailor-made for Universal, productions.
Yeah.
Generica. How do you entertain us?
But we were hoping it at least would be this year's Gods of Egypt.
I particularly was hoping for that.
Fingers were crossed, man.
I gotta say, the trailer didn't give me that impression. Like, when I
Yeah.
first saw the trailer for Gods of Egypt,
Right.
I knew it was some special shit.
Yeah, special shit.
This, it just looked generic, and,
Was it as bad as Gods of Egypt?
well, no, but I love Gods of Egypt. Okay? That movie was so gloriously inept. It's indescribable.
You know, we're the only ones out there
Well,
that
yeah.
think that Gods of Egypt is so bad it's good.
It's so bad, it's amazing.
It's hilarious. We were laughing the whole time.
Now,
But anyway.
I will give
Anyway.
The Great Wall a little bit of credit. I think the movie knew it wasn't that great.
Right.
And it
See, Gods of Egypt, they were being serious.
Gods of Egypt thought they were the next Mummy.
Yeah, the next franchise.
They really did.
Yeah,
But
this movie, no. This movie, they knew, let's just make a monster fest, mindless fantasy film.
Yeah, and to their credit, they did jump right in there. They did not once insult us by trying to give us any character development whatsoever. There was
None.
there was no setup for anybody.
No plot.
I don't remember anybody's names.
There was
to be
no
perfectly
plot.
frank with you. And that's about the credit where the credit ends. The movie's very quick, but the trade-off for having a very quick-paced film in which you don't have character development and they just say, "Hey, here you go. Here's some shit."
Yeah.
Is that you don't care about what's on screen.
I mean, you will feel like, what was it, 15 minutes in? 15 minutes in,
yeah.
you will feel like you just randomly chose a Game of Thrones episode, except the special effects suck.
Game of Thrones has better CGI.
Like, you just got thrown in the middle of something. Like, there was nothing before. It was just like, whoa, where are we going?
Yeah,
All right, we're here now.
Yeah, who
They get captured now. Matt Damon and the Viper, they're traitors. They're basically, for those of you that were scared out there for the whole, or out there with, torches and pitchforks,
Why are white people in this movie?
all mad about, the whitewashing thing. Well, there's no whitewashing. They basically say that they're Westerners.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are 2 white people in this movie.
But
and 1 Hispanic, and then
Right.
everybody else is Chinese. So,
Yeah.
hey, they at least, they
they
went there.
Yeah, they weren't playing, Asian people.
Yeah, and it wasn't even necessarily that Matt Damon comes in and he's the big hero. Yeah, he does some stuff,
Yeah.
but he also has something
Yeah.
in his possession that helps
Yeah.
with the shittiest looking theatrical CGI monsters I have seen in quite some time. This was not a low budget
Yeah.
production. It was I want to say what, 150 million to make this movie. Some of the worst CGI. theatrical.
Maybe it all went to the 3D. I don't know.
You might have a
maybe this movie was actually more fun in 3D. We didn't see it 3D.
I can't handle 3D with I have terrible eyesight,
Yeah.
and it clashes with my glasses. I can't wear contact lenses
That's
easily. But I will give another movie another point. I will give the movie another point for the actual production value.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
No.
It wasn't on the cheap side. Everybody they
Yeah.
had it's a fantasy. In case you didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is a total straight up fantasy.
Very
about
colorful.
One of the reasons why the Great Wall was made is this is a legend So this isn't supposed to be historically accurate by any means. And so, you got these horrible CGI monsters coming in, and, you got a bunch of women in with the soldiers. You got the different color-coded soldiers that are going on there. I won't go into spoilers. Who gives a shit? But anyway.
Yeah, who really cares about...
But production value. I was at a point, hey, it's
all right, we won't spoil it.
Production value. You can tell they tried.
Yeah.
This was not some cheap...
Yeah, well, this comes from the director of Hero and the director of House of Flying Daggers, and those are two gorgeous, beautiful films. So the movie, production value-wise, does look good. It's just the CGI, very, very bland and uninteresting design for these monsters. Just very throwaway.
And that's only half of their problem.
Yeah, so... What do you say? The special effects are maybe at least on par or better than Dragon Wars? Or D-Wars? Does anybody remember that movie?
It's been a really long time since I've even... I didn't even finish that. I think I fell asleep. But from what I remember, it's not any better. It's just not any worse. But it's just not good. Yeah. It's not good.
It's not like it's Sci-Fi Channel.
Asylum.
It's not like it's the worst sci-fi ever. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's just, they just really, the Westerners show up, they're traders, they're trying to get that black powder, and, they get captured, and then they get after shenanigans, a lot of shenanigans, they get thrown into this war with the monsters.
That appear every 60 years.
Yeah, that appear every 60 years.
Yes.
And some of the action scenes were okay. She fell asleep.
Oh.
All of a sudden, I'm watching the movie, and all of a sudden, boom!
I was not.
Right on
and again, that was a trade-off. You have this movie clocks in just a little over an hour and 40 minutes, and your trade-off for having this really fast-paced movie where it's like, okay, we don't have a lot of plot to offer, we don't have a lot of character to offer you, so we're just going to jump right into the story and just assume you're on board. The trade-off for that is that you have very little shits to give about what is going on, and so probably about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes into the movie, I was starting to nod off pretty bad.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
Yeah, the pacing wasn't that great, and we were talking in the car on the way back that this movie kind of reminded me of a low budget sci-fi creature feature flick, except it wasn't as low budget as Pitch Black, but it kind of reminded me of Pitch Black in terms of
how Pitch Black could have gone wrong,
right?
If it didn't have Riddick character,
right? And at least in the Pitch Black, you get the more interesting Riddick character that actually had a character arc. You got to know him a little bit, and by the end, he gets thrown into protecting these people from these monsters, and it kind of makes sense, and it's interesting the result in the third act of Pitch Black. And this one,
I think I'm gonna go watch Pitch Black now.
This one is just okay. Sure, Matt Damon wants to redeem his past. Sure, fine. Give me my bow. The one thing that wait a minute, why was William Dafoe in this movie? Why was he in this movie?
He was there, and he found out because they kept saying no one can let our secret out.
Yeah, and he was a traitor too. No, he brought some mercenaries. They all got captured or something.
And he found out about their secret.
Powder.
Their secret,
yeah.
And so it's either let him live or execute the guy. And I'm not sure why they let him live and stay put and live there, but he had to stay there. He was a prisoner.
They needed a shady character,
which could have been played by anybody.
William
Dafoe, I love Willem Dafoe, but holy shit, it literally could have been anybody. Speaking of it could have been anybody, any of these characters, Matt Damon. Yeah. The Viper was fun, and that's another thing. We were talking about. They had pretty good chemistry. That was something else that the lack of character development, they made up for relatively well with Matt Damon and the Viper's. I gotta learn his fucking name.
Yeah.
The Viper's character.
From Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they had pretty good banter.
He was funny.
They had some good comedic moments, and that can go a long way when you don't have a story to back anything up.
Right.
But that kind of fell through later on, too.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything, even though we really shouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't...
This movie, but we won't. We won't spoil anything.
It's not worth it.
I know.
It's
not worth seeing in theater. Unless you're really extremely desperate to see something in 3D this weekend, then why the fuck not, I guess.
Which apparently a lot of people were... We went to a very popular... Okay, we went to a mall it's relatively large mall. And it's an AMC in a very well-established mall. And a lot of showtimes for The Great Wall. And we get there, and like we said in the other video... 3 frickin' showtimes were outright sold out, and the one we went to was relatively packed.
Yeah.
I never in a
For the Great Wall.
years, I never in a million years, with the trailer that we were presented with, would have guessed that this was going to be the movie that people would just go see. I mean, granted, it's been raining very heavily where we are right now.
Yeah.
People are probably bored. And again, I said this earlier, I would much rather people go waste their money and time on this than 50 Shades. You know?
Yes.
But meanwhile, you know, we went to go see another movie, John Wick 2. And
which we will review.
There was maybe 5 people, 6 people in the theater.
No, there was maybe 10.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You think there was 10?
Maybe.
I know that there were...
I was too busy enjoying the damn movie.
You know what? You might be right, because at the last minute, a couple more people came into the back row.
Right.
Hey.
So back to the Viper. He was fun, but there was, you know, he kind of had this, he kind of looked up to the Matt Damon character, kind of followed his lead, even though he didn't necessarily agree with everything. Damon was, in terms of decision making, he didn't agree with everything, but he would follow him like a brother in arms. Well, he fights with him several times in this movie, and then something happens at the end towards the third act, and it just kind of like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. You helped him this time, but now you're not helping him. It didn't really make any sense, and it kind of and the movie kind of takes away Viper from him fighting in the finale in the third act because of this stupid decision. So I was just kind of like, well, they kind of wasted his character. He didn't even fight in the finale, in the throwdown.
Yeah.
You know, now Hong Kong film fans out there, if you were wondering if Eddie Peng had a lot of martial arts in this film, no. If you were wondering if Andy Lau, he kind of had a big role, but it seemed like he was kind of a throwaway character. So don't expect too much between those two characters in the film.
He wasn't really.
Don't expect a lot from the film, period.
No, this is, you have absolutely nothing better to do.
Yeah.
It's
a good time waster. It's not the worst film in the world.
You can catch a $2 matinee with a group of friends, and like we went to an AMC where they serve you food and liquor if you ask. Which we're so far behind the times.
Yeah,
we're still doing antiquated theaters apparently, where you just you go get your popcorn in the middle of a bathroom break or whatever. But yeah, get some booze in you. It's a time waster.
If you want to see an army versus monsters.
Yeah, this is not a full price.
There you go. That's your movie.
This is either a $2 matinee or a cable.
Yeah.
Free on cable or Netflix.
On Netflix or something like that.
I don't recommend braving the cold and the floodwaters to go see.
No, don't pay full price for this movie.
No.
Unless, again, you're really desperate to see it in 3D. So this movie's ridiculous. It's over the top.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. It's over the top. There's a queen monster. We got air balloon sequences. Some ridiculous moments that kind of made us laugh because it looked ridiculous, but no spoilers.
Shitty CGI. I don't know if I mentioned that enough. Yeah. Shitty.
Yeah, the CGI is pretty bad. So, but maybe it's better in 3D. So, was there anything else before we schnick it our way out of here?
No.
No?
No. Don't kill yourselves to see this.
No. So we give The Great Wall
a harmless.
It's a harmless movie.
A harmless
2.9 out of 5 chainsaws. So, very harmless movie. Not the worst thing ever. Not as ridiculous as we wanted it to be, like Gods of Egypt. Not as over the top.
No.
As we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be just jump shark. We would have had more fun with, especially this type of setup. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle. Not the worst thing ever. Not as over the top as we wanted, but definitely, with some more time put into it, it could have been a lot more entertaining.
But it wasn't, so it's just there.
Yeah, it's just there. So that's it. Thanks again for watching.
Sorry I'm blinding you with my whiteness.
Are you a fan of Sheamus from WWE? Are you related to Sheamus? All right. Thanks again for watching, guys. You guys rock. We'll see you guys next time.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.